everybody, Ben here, and today is how to build a model railway part 3, which is ballasting. First of all, you need to test all of your track that you are going to ballast to make sure that there is the correct electricity and to make sure it all works, because often ballasting can affect the running in terms of it might not work straight away when you're doing it. However, for now, if it doesn't work when you're testing on your track like I'm doing on screen now, what you need to do is make sure it actually has a good electrical connectivity, so is it actually going to work? And I go into more detail obviously in previous videos in this series, but also just simply cleaning the point blades if you're relying on electrical contact from those might be an idea to make sure they're clean before doing anything else. For ballasting my track, I use the Woodland Scenics Fine Grey Ballast and the Dulux Materials Ballast Magic to stick the ballast down. With these materials it is easy to ballast track, I would say. I don't know of too many other things, but I think it's just the general easy thing to do. And it also is, I would say, pretty cheap. I think I paid like £7 something for these a couple of, I don't know how long ago, months ago. With the Ballast Magic set from Dulux Materials, you get a spray bottle for spraying the track ballast, and you also get this bottle of white powder which is your glue, and you mix that with your ballast. And what you do with that is you mix these materials to 1 to 7 parts to ballast to Ballast Magic, and then you slowly sprinkle it onto the track a tiny bit at a time, like this here, and then brush it in the gaps between the two sleepers, so there's very little on the sleepers. You want to do it so there's very little, slowly just brush it back and forwards a lot like I'm doing here, and you just need to do that for lots of your sections of track. Obviously this is a kind of I wouldn't say simple process, it's kind of simple but kind of repetitive, and then what you need to do is always just put a little bit more on the track as well if you wanted to do it. And if you do it little by little, you'll also save ballast and make sure it all works. Then what you want to do for the sort of sides of the ballast, the parts that I'm doing now on screen, you'll want to make sure that they're done in a similar way, but once again you don't want anything on the sleepers particularly, because I don't think that's on what is on the national network at the moment. And all you've got to do is keep doing this over and over again until all your layout is ballasted and you're happy with it. What you want to do is make sure that all the ballast on your layout that you've done is tidy, like mine isn't here at the moment. You want to brush it all off so there isn't any sort of excess ballast that you want, so all of it's off the sleepers like I've mentioned before, and just generally tidying it up so there isn't a lot of ballast on the side of the rails and sort of just spilling out, because I don't know unless you want that. I don't think that's too prototypical, so you just want to brush it in like I'm doing at the moment, and then just go along like I'm doing now and sort of just generally copy what I'm doing. Obviously if you have any spare excess ballast that you can push to some other places, then what you want to do is get like a piece of card or something and just brush it into like an ice cream tub or something, so then it can be stored if you want to use it for future usage. Then what you want to do is make sure the ballast has got clean to make sure nothing is on the rails. This is my completed ballasting all over the place. All of my track is done. It takes quite a while, but it's generally sort of, I would say, worth sort of the result. What you want to do is then spray the track like I'm doing here with the water, and what you want to do is let it dry. You spray it and let it dry overnight, spray it again the next morning or whenever you've got time, then you've got to spray it again, and then if you don't think it's sort of stuck down enough, then you have to spray it again, and then maybe continue that for doing it a couple more times. But you may have mixed it wrong if it takes you about 10 times or whatever to do that, because that's what I did the first time. So maybe remember to mix it correctly. Then what you want to do before running any locomotion on the track is to give the track a good clean, because obviously there's glue on it on the sort of in the ballast mix, so you'll want to do that before doing any running of trains. And obviously, as you can see here, if you don't have trains running on like I have, then you might just want to repeat the process that I mentioned earlier about giving the point blades a clean and checking the electrical contact, and obviously there may be a couple of granules of the ballast or whatever stuck on the point blades, so maybe you want to just simply clean them out, and that should hopefully make your trains run again. I hope you enjoyed this video by me. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below with some video ideas or feedback. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.